There's only one of you whose heart is so true. There's only one of you, mama. Your love is so true. And even when the stars call your name, your energy is always giving in her name. Nature, nature, you're the one, mama. Nature, you're the one, mama. Thank you for all your love, mama. Thank you for all your strength. And even when your lessons are hard to hear, and even when they don't make sense quite, dear mama, mama, you're the one, mama, you're the one, mama, mama, you're the one, mama. Even when the stars call your name, mama. Even when they say that the words that you'd say, mama, mama, you're the one, mama, you're the one, mama, you're the one, mama, you're the one, mama, you're the one. Oh, even when your words are hard to hear, so strong and swift is your effort, so clear, mama, mama, you're the one, mama, you are the one, mama, mama.
Mama! Hi, everybody. This is Vessy Mink on the music train. Am I here alone? Where's my co-host, Kafi D'Ambrosi? Kafi, there you are. Hi, Kafi. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you, Vesselina New.
Thank you. I believe that the co-founder of Music Train is in the house. Is Mr. BK Han here? He might just be sitting, watching, and listening.
I believe he stepped out of the studio, but he is watching us live from Metaverse Generation on YouTube. So we want to thank our sponsor, Metaverse Generation. You can find us on YouTube. We have Vessy Mink of Vessy Mink Music as our host of the Music Train, and BK Han, our co-founder of Music Train, which started a year ago on Connect Club, and we are so excited to be here with you in season 2. Vessy Mink, what do you have on top for us today?
Kafi, thank you so much for the amazing introduction. I just want to tell you that I'm so happy that you're the co-host and that no one should ever miss an NFT Malam happening every Thursday, because we've got amazing guests, not only here, but also with NFT Malam and you as the host. So I love your show. I love your guests. And it's not only about music on the Music Train. It's about tech. It's about science. Today we have an amazing lineup. We have Extinct here, who's a singer-songwriter. What's up, Extinct is in the house. We have Harrison Hickman, brought us a guest with Richard Selwyn Barnett, as they call the introducer, who has made iconic introductions since the mid-1980s. And we're just all super happy to be here together. Without further ado, I'd like to bring Extinct to the stage. And he's going to share something really special with all of you. He's a singer-songwriter. He's a producer. He's a digital entrepreneur who makes NFTs, who makes coins.
I think he said he was going on in 20 minutes. Let me just verify. I do not want, I think he invited his people group in 20 minutes. Let me just verify because I want to
Thank you.
sync with
Yes.
Xync. Please hold. I'm going to remove myself. Vessy, can you?
Yes, of course, of course. I'm going to add my guest, Richard Selwyn Barnett, is in the house with us today as well. Hi, Richard. How
Oh,
are you today? Thank you so much
I'm
for
all good.
joining us.
I'm just waking up,
It is a
I'm
little bit
doing well,
late
thanks.
in the
It's good.
UK.
No, I'm okay. I mean, it's late, but I'm enjoying it. And your guitar and your vocals and your lyrics and everything's great. You're a great musician.
Thank you,
Um,
Richard. You know,
Thanks
you
for
and
having me.
I'm so glad you're here. You brought a very special guest, and I'm just going to bring up Harrison real quick as well because we have someone super special to you and also now to everyone here, this amazing human being. Can you share more about how the two of you met?
I can share it very quickly. I was sent a link on LinkedIn by Andy J. Ross, singer songwriter like you, very much like yourself, who I've known since 1972. He said this guy's been interviewed on the Right Buzz Radio, which is another podcast show, been going about 4 years. Ross is their number one fan or their biggest supporter, and he put me on to the interview that Harrison did with them. I listened carefully, and I thought, can I take this guy Harrison Hickman from sort of zero to hero, which is a very bad expression, but can you take an unknown author or writer to the very top in 12 months? And I promised him I would, and we're about 2 or 3 months, well, just over 3 months into it at the
That's
moment. So yeah,
amazing.
I
Harrison.
haven't met him other than at my Function at Lunch Club event. There were about 50 or 60 people there, and I was going around the room and I said, Harrison, get there really early because you're going to meet it'll be a day that you'll never be able to repeat in the rest of your life. And he was there. And he was there all day.
How was
Great.
that event, Harrison?
It's definitely it was a fantastic event. I met so many incredible people there, and I remember I got there about a couple of hours early, and I remember I finished off writing a scene just before the meeting started, and then after I left the event, I just felt so buzzed with there was so many conversations, so many stories, people with varying backgrounds, and it really inspired me and really helped me to create. And it all fed into my characters as well. So I had my characters became a lot stronger and a lot more, and they developed a lot more. So yeah, that day in the film studios really inspired me, and I'm really looking forward to the journey ahead.
It sounds very, very exciting. I understand that zero to hero thing. I think that it's most people who don't actually get the spotlight are usually the most intriguing, most talented ones that don't really get a shot, if you will. So I appreciate also the people who are supporting people of all genres. And your writing style specifically, do you have an inspiration that you could share about how you became a writer or something to the effect of why it was writing that became your vehicle?
Well, it's interesting because I always have been writing, not in long pieces, but since as far as I can remember, I've always been writing. And then it was really sort of in the mid 2000s that I actually began to write longer pieces and deeper pieces. And then the idea for this book came along. It was the characters just appeared in small form at first, and I knew that there were five of them, five members of the band. And then as I started to get to know them over the months in 2014, and then gradually they started developing. So yeah, I mean, the developing this book has been an absolute challenge. Not just writing it, but actually getting the characters to sort of come out of the shells that they've been hiding in and actually bring to the forefront. And I have been reading very widely to develop these ideas. And so in terms of my inspiration, it's the world around me. It's the music, it's the conversations, and it's meeting other people. That to me is my big inspiration.
I find that fascinating. I always have a lot of ideas for you know, I'm very, my mother's always said, you have a wild imagination, Vessy. Every time, Mom, I just thought about this. Isn't that kind of strange? Mom, I just thought about this. Isn't that kind of strange? You have a wild imagination. I think that's a perfect like retort to a child just being like, where with all these thoughts? These are ideas. They're ideas in the making. I'm a titles person. So can you please tell me the title of the book that you're speaking about?
The title of the book is A Life Called Scarlet.
I love that. That's a great title.
And because, I mean, it's called A Life Called Scarlet because it's although it's a book about a girl band in 90s England all the way up to 2005, it's primarily about the life stories and also the stories of the other people around them, how their music affects other people, and not just how their music, but how they themselves affect other people. And you know, although I mean, it starts off in the first bit when it's all told from Scarlett's perspective, and then it develops into the perspectives of the different members of the band, and it gradually opens up, and you get all these different perspectives. And there's I was just reading over a scene just before I came on air, in which Josephine is forced to confront something from her past, and Josephine's one of the sort of second in command of the band, and she's having to deal with an old childhood trauma. So it's the way that these two things can actually be right next to one another. Suddenly they're performing on stage in New York. The next moment that it's Josephine's having to deal with a problem from her past, and I've always been fascinated by that sort of those two different positions. Yeah, juxtapositions. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
You know, when you mentioned Scarlet, I have a connection. If I could just share, when I was a kid, I had scarlet fever, and you know, there's hallucinations that come with having scarlet fever. I can attest to that, and it's just interesting because I saw two buildings that were just as tall as each other, skyscrapers, falling on me. It was very vivid. So when 9/11 happened, it didn't even occur to me till years later just how odd that was, that you know, that I had actually had that kind of thing happen. Yeah, childhood trauma. That's usually I think everybody knows about childhood trauma. What do you think, Richard? This world is like, you know, we're like building out from childhood trauma of all sorts into some miraculous.
People carry traumas and they deal with them differently, and they grieve in different ways. And you know, there are tragedies and there are accidents and there are things that happen deliberately to you, and you know, things maybe beyond your control. You don't have a choice. I mean, obviously, we normally will have a choice whether we're going to do something or not do something, but sometimes, you know, you are forced to face you know, the trauma head on and deal with it, and hope there's a support network around you. Like with Andy J. Ross, who introduced me to Harrison, where he did see his friends blown up in the terror attack, and he was there, he was literally firsthand. He then wrote the most amazing, powerful ballad called "The Way I've Been," and he wanted me to, you know, as a friend anyway, go and find this guy in New Jersey. This is one of my stories because, obviously, you know, you want to hear a few stories. A guy called Benny Troy, who'd been signed in the 70s to D-Light Records with Kool and the Gang, and find this guy, find his manager, find the songwriter and the producers, and he's my childhood hero, Richard. You know, it'd been so much to me if you could make my dreams come true. And I want Benny Troy, you know, I've dreamed about this, to sing my ballad, The Way I've Been, and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, so I did my bit of research, and there's someone I knew someone I knew, and Mr. 1 Degree came up, which was always my nickname from the early 90s, by Daniel Elias in New York, who created the best ever reality television series in America called Dog the Bounty Hunter. So, you know, Elias didn't do the connection with Benny Troy, but people he knew people they knew in New Jersey and whatever.
It's interesting. It's interesting how how what we think the connection's supposed to be or create, but it's such a bigger picture.
But listen, the thing with the childhood trauma thing was it was a terrible trauma to see your friends killed and maimed and stuff in a terror attack. And then you write a song based on that, and it's very powerful. Every time you hear the song, it touches your heart, and it inspires you. Actually, it's quite positive to you know, just, you know.
I want to jot down the name. What was the name of the song again?
He wrote a song called "The Way I've Been."
The Way I've Been.
And his dream was to have his childhood sort of musical hero, a Northern Soul superstar, effectively, called Benny Troy, to sing it. And I tracked down Vinny Esposito, Benny's manager, and first cousin, by the way, family. in New Jersey, and she just discovered Christina Aguilera with her husband in the
Wow.
90s. Signs Christina. I didn't know that. And then also in the 60s, her and Suzanne de Passe promoted clubs in New York. And this is all, I'll tell Harrison this another time, but basically she worked with Suzanne de Passe, who's now de Passe Jones Entertainment, one of the biggest production companies in America. Suzanne de Passe, of course, ran Motown with Berry Gordy. They signed the Jacksons, Commodores, and all these sort of Motown groups in the 70s. Suzanne de Passe is still about. So these are sort of little things that transpired. Anyway, once Vinny knew who I was and who I knew, I also got hold of Billy Terrell, the famous record producer, songwriter, who was a Vietnam War veteran. I didn't know that. He wrote a book about it, and he remixed that famous song called Venus by Frankie Avalon, a beautiful 60s ballad, right, by Frankie Avalon, into the
ballad.
Venus, yeah. I worked with Helen Reddy and people like that. So Benny Troy comes over here to the Northern Soul tour. We drive up to Wales to meet him on this freezing cold beach. I remember it was so cold. I had a camera crew film Andy and Benny meeting for the first time, hugging on the beach, and it was a real magic moment, right? But then, of course, they talked about, well, why have I come over to sing your song? Because you're a great songwriter, Andy. And it explained, the tragedy and the trauma and stuff. And he's still got post-traumatic stress disorder to this very day. Once the ballad was recorded, I think it was a month later, we were in the recording studio. Then I did what I did with Harrison, was get the 60 best people I knew, who were different people back then, Harrison, back in 2011, to a private house in Hampstead, and we did a fantastic launch party. And we got Benny to sing live. I obviously, introduced them.
Please tell me there's a documentary film.
Well, there's footage of them rehearsing. No, we haven't got the film, but it was basically we've got a thing on YouTube called the 9/11 Memorial Ballad. There you go.
Okay.
9-11 Memorial Ballad. Benny Troy, Andy Ross, and that's just one of my introductions. And Harrison's dream was to meet his favorite writer from television film. He's called Tony Grisoni, and he hasn't yet met Tony, but I've told Tony that Harrison exists, and Tony's looking forward to being one of the first people to read Harrison's manuscript. And Tony is a very, very well. If you just Google Tony Grisoni, Grisoni, you'll remember there's a film with Johnny Depp called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. I felt very sick after I saw that one.
I didn't see it, but I know that Tony wrote that, and he wrote many other films. I'm going to go to Harrison on that fact that your dream can come true later this year, Harrison. You can go and have lunch and meet Tony Grisoni. So I'm going to hang up and let Harrison say what he wants to say, if you don't mind.
Well, it's I'm very, very much looking forward to meeting Tony Grisoni, and I'm conscious of the fact that when I do meet Tony Grisoni, or whenever I meet anybody, it's not just myself that I'm introducing, it's also the 5 characters who lead the band as well, because it's the characters that will drive the story. It's who is Scarlett, where does she come from, what does she do, Gina, Susan, Josephine, and Emma. And those characters drive the story. So I'm very much looking forward to meeting Tony Grisoni. I'm very much looking forward to talking to him about these incredible characters, and characters that I've sort of always known I've had them. They've always been buried from as long as I can remember. All these characters have been there, and it's like they've been they were finally unwrapped when I started writing this story. So I'm very much looking forward to introducing Mr. Grisoni to these characters.
There you go.
Wow, I just want to let them, Kafi, the two of these gentlemen, just go back and forth here and clip and share all over the social media right now. So we're
gonna bring them back at the end of our show, because we do want to hear more. But we want to bring up, and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to bring you back at the end of the show. Thank you, Harrison, Hicksman, Richard. Amazing. So many nuggets. We want more.
I think Richard needs to come back every week.
All right, Vessy.
Yes.
If you don't mind, if you would allow me to introduce this next
I would
person,
love for you to.
because this person has basically taught me basically met me day one in my Web3 journey. They taught me about smart contracts. They taught me about Tezos. They taught me about ETH. They taught me about skins. They taught me technical things. They taught me how to read a white paper. They invited me into their spaces, basically unintentional mentor. This person is extinct. He or they are an independent visual and recording artist. One of my homies, they allowed me to be a co-host on their weekly show, Blockchain Homies. This is my homie, one of my biggest fans, and I am still one of their biggest fans. Extinct, welcome to the Music Train. Welcome, homie. Unmute your mic and open your heart. Welcome.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
It's all you. We can hear
Hey.
you. Welcome.
Okay, just making sure.
It sounds pretty cool. It sounds like you're on Mars.
I'm at home, away from people. But yeah, what's up, y'all? I'm an artist from Chicago. I make NFTs, digital collectibles, and shit. And this is the Music Train. We'll dive in some more later.
I don't think I could be more excited about you being here. You know, when you and I met, I just kept hearing your voice. Like, I think the first song I heard from you was on Clubhouse. It was during NFT 99. And there was a song called, oh gosh, now it's escaping me the title, but it was a reoccurring song that we ended up hearing on Connect Club, where Kafi and BK and Mina and Ruler and Peace and all the people were hanging, and Crypto B Radio. So I'm hoping that maybe you'll drop some music today. You'll do a musical presentation if we're so lucky.
Yeah, I'm down.
Are you ready to go now?
If you want.
Oh yeah, I want. Definitely Extinct. And you're in Chicago, so you and I have actually met in the flesh before at Bloomingdale's for the NFT insanity that happened last year, where they had NFTs projected on the ceiling of Bloomingdale's in downtown Chicago. It was beautiful. It was such a beautiful party. There was hundreds of people there, and Extinct and I met. I didn't know it was Extinct, but I was getting a drink from the bar, and there was a very tall man there with hair covering his face. And I said, who is that? I think, is that Extinct? And then the rest is history. So I'm going to spotlight you and let you share your thing here, and let the people know who you are. Cross-border artist, Mexicano, beautiful, vibrant. I love your work. Here we go. Let's spotlight you, my brother.
Appreciate that. But question: how do I stream audio? Like from my PC to here?
So from your PC, Kafi's gonna come in, and there's a present button at the bottom. So you would literally click that and then go through the prompts there. Kafi, correct? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, just like you shared your page before, you can share any links, whether it's from YouTube.
And I'm just going to also real quick also share our sponsor for this week's Music Train. Episode 4 of season 2 is sponsored by, ready guys? Where did it go? Here it is. The Bad Boys of Boston Beer Brewery. Ready guys? Here we go. Yeah, I can't wait till that hits the markets. Thank you so much to the Bad Boys of Boston for being our sponsor this week. Metaverse Generation, MGen Labs for the beautiful logo and commercial spot created in a flash. BK Han is the best Kafi Diabrosi. I'm just like blown away by what our amazing fearless leader can do. And he's taught us so much. So big up to BK Han and the whole crew at MGen Labs and Metaverse Generation. You know who you are. And if you're not sure of what we're talking about, definitely, find us.
We forgot one thing, and I'm going to show it in our comments. We forgot that Machine Minds will be on tonight. I believe Ruler
At
and
10.
Peace is going on today at 10 o'clock. He said, don't forget Machine Minds today.
Is that at 10
Fantastic.
p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or is that
I believe it's Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, good
Eastern
to know.
Standard
I'll be
Time.
tuning in. I can't wait. That's the first episode, correct?
Episode 1. And we
Everything
also have
AI.
Everything AI. We also have a new show coming up with myself and Alan Teitel called Innovation Infusion, featuring AI technology and more innovation in terms of development and photography and other types of innovation. So stay tuned.
Is it AI? Is it AI?
There'll be some AI, there'll be technology in terms of photography, in terms of more hardware and AI, like 3D printing, sort of the hardware side of AI. So we talk about AI a lot, but we don't talk about the hardware in terms of what that takes to develop hardware on the hardware side.
And if Extinct is still setting up, Extinct, how you doing?
I think we're ready.
Are we ready to go? All right. Hey, there's your beautiful face. All right, here we go. Extinct in the house.
You can share from your SoundCloud or your YouTube channel, it seems, for your audio.
Okay, I should be able to see stuff. Alright. Okay. And then, okay. Hopefully there's no echo. Alright. So you guys should be able to see me, right? You see the Streamlabs and whatnot. Alright. So this first track I made like at 4 in the morning a few days ago. It's like 10 days ago or some shit. It's called Liquidas. Oh, el dinero, pero el dinero no me hace, no. Si tú tienes esta frase, hey. ¿Por qué? Aquí no hablamos francés. Unless you get undressed. Focus on my ledger from my stack it fractionalize it, got no time to ponder on it. When I'm stuck in the matrix, gotta get out of it. Why? Cause it's stuck in smoke. Walking reflections, what a joke, yeah. So haciendo el dinero, pero el dinero no me hace. Nah, siempre derecho en el camino, cambiando marcha siempre sigo. Bolsillos gordos como Bimbo, conectando hasta el abismo. En el bloque sigo yo escrito, con la hierba yo canalizo. Niveles con la hechizo, con mi liquidez la bautizo. Estoy haciendo el dinero, pero el dinero no me hace. Pero si no tienes esta frase, So, just to like double back with you guys, how was that like sound wise? Was that good? Should I turn anything up, down?
It sounded really good.
Okay. So this next track is called Grip. And this one's a reminder to myself that I don't need any substances, in order to be me, to be whole and complete. So, it's called Grip.
Love it.
Let you go. It cut it off the vibe right there. But hey, it is what it is. This next track, I was depressed as fuck when I made it. It's called The Serpent.
So don't threat on me, cause I'll make you bleed. So sit back, relax, and smoke your weed. If freedom's what you bleed, just sit back, relax, smoke that.
I don't understand why you tryna drown me. All I wanna do is set you free, get you to run wild and free, get you to join us on these running speeds. Open up your mind, freedom is inside you. I'm not the flu, so go ahead and get a clue. Open up that third eye in your mind, and maybe you'll see where these visions reside. Drown in the sky and go inside. Cut open up your skin, let the venom in, let it feel it in. All these lies rise out the veins, blood drips out the pain. All these lies rise out the veins, blood drips out the pain.
Yeah, that was the Serpent. Again, I made that when I was depressed as fuck.
Yo, stink.
What's up?
It was fun.
Fire.
One of my favorites.
You guys want to check out one from the upcoming mixtape, or
Please, immediately.
play that one later? Okay. You guys want the alpha on that shit?
Yes. We need it always.
There's a bit of a delay.
And what?
Vessy,
You, and me.
Huh. Okay. I'll check that out in a second.
Impatient, I grow impatient when you're standing naked, looking gorgeous, right in front of me. Barely keep it all inside of me. Ella cambia el clima cuando la pongo encima. Llega a nuevas cimas. Ella canta sin rima. Boca de piedra tengo, porque aquí hacemos de lo que hablamos. Pa' la luna vamos. Sobre 9000 siempre damos. Dime si el cripto es algo para ti. Y si no, no puedes estar aquí. With my squad, yeah, we rolling up with OG. Rolling up, OG. Got the kush on me. You can't smoke for free. Unless you brought loosely. Transacciones es el idioma que aquí platicamos. Llegando desde cero y tenemos el terreno. Rolling up with OG. Roll that kush, can't smoke for free. Unless you brought that loose leaf. That you got that OG. Coming up on the board, yeah. Coming up on the south side. Coming up from the barrio. Coming up. Been rolling up. Coming from the underground. Been staying high. Been up on cloud 9. 'Cause I've been so low before. So low, so low. 'Cause I've been so low before. So low, so low, so low. Rolling up, little G. Roll that kush, can't smoke for free. Unless you brought that sleep. Unless you got that OG. Coming up on the board, yeah. Coming up on the south side. Coming up from the barrio. Coming up.
Yes, OG, one of the tracks coming on the project, and you can still see my screen and whatnot.
I love it.
More, yeah. There's a whole article on it, why it's on Optimism, the passes, Xcoin, all that jazz. Nifty Kids page is up for drop. It'll be available on the 23rd for the pass holders. We also got an awardable badge today. So if you're watching the stream, the passcode is Music Train, 2 words. You'll be able to claim the brand new badge I just dropped on there. And it's also streaming on Twitch. Also got an upcoming drop for Green Zone. So they got a beach coming up, and they pretty much pay people in crypto to recycle and to comb the beaches and whatnot. And we got a gallery in a super world, and that's next to the SpaceX station. It's gonna be nice. And lastly, I got another mixtape that had recently dropped on NF Tempo, which is on the XRP ledger, that you guys can check out as well.
Extinct, thank you so much for being here. There's an echo when Kafi and I speak. Not sure why. But what can we do? You're amazing.
Just lower the volume.
To what?
All
And
right.
the
I
badge
think
is music trend. Two words. Two words.
Yeah.
so. Check it out. I think we need to remove the metaverse for the echo to go away. Let's try. Hey, hey. Oh, okay, that worked. Whoo! It was trippy. I kind of liked it though. That worked.
You gotta mute your
The
tab.
music was fire. That new drop was new music and it had a different flavor, but was still specifically you. I loved it. It was amazing.
Are
It
you
went a
also
little deep.
released? Oh, sorry, Kafi. Go ahead.
It went deeper. It went a little deeper. It was a little more personal. Uh, but it was definitely extinct. I loved it. It was fresh. It felt springy. Still had little darkness, but it was deep. Had a little darkness, had a little lightness, had a little fun. Very much extinct. I loved it. That new drop. I love it. I'm going in. I got to get into my I haven't scooped any of my extinct NFTs. I'm the worst friend, but I'm back on the extinct train.
I think Extinct's train. You'll agree with me. Kafi has been. I mean, I haven't seen anyone work as hard. There's very few that I've seen work. I won't say anyone, but there's very few I've seen work as hard. He's constantly putting out music. He's constantly creating NFTs. He's constantly creating experiences and metaverses, educating people, and he's very humble. And he's an educator, as you shared, as you introduced him, and what he's taught people about basically everything having to do with the metaverse, NFTs, it's an honor to have you here today. And I feel like, I want to bring up our two other guests to introduce you guys and see what they have to say as well. So
Absolutely. I'm just going to say this one last thing. And truly extinct, I wouldn't be where I am today without you pouring into me at the beginning of my Web3 journey. So publicly, I want to thank you for being my homie, being my friend, and standing behind me. I love you. Tons. Te quiero mucho. Yo te adoro.
Yeah.
For sure.
What's up? That's good. What's up? It's too much attention. Look away.
Richard Harrison, what did you think of Extinct's music?
Unmute your mic, open your heart.
Very powerful stuff. Unbelievably powerful, and really there was a lot of emotion in all that, in all the notes and the words as well. So, and emotion is what really, in my view, drives very, very powerful music.
Right on. I feel that. And I wish that I don't speak Spanish, but I wish I could actually know what you're saying in the song. I know a little bit about your life and your early life a little bit, but I know your name derives from, the reality that we may be the last, right? If we don't change, and some people think that it's too late to change and it's already all gonna be, we're in another mass extinction. So I don't know your views on that, Harrison or Richard or Kafi.
I just say, extinct. You got to just get your message out to as many people as possible, which I think you're doing. I mean, this show, if we all promote it and tell our followers and our fans about it, that's more people, and we can build it up. And I think you're doing a great job, my friend. I mean, yeah, I've never heard of you before, but I'm sure now more people will know about Extinct and the music.
Yeah.
And it says "Save the Earth." Are you an environmentalist, or what's your ethos?
Sure. If you just,
I just want to bring. Oh, what's up? I was just gonna say. I just want to bring more awareness to environmental causes. Entering into the blockchain, I've been collaborating with environmental brands and causes like Green Zone, Counting Coral, the Help Group team, and just assisting them with what I can, to assist them towards their movement or their cause. Like the Help Group team is building a maternity ward. We built a token on Tetos. Once that sells out, they'll be able to build that maternity ward. Green Zone pays people in crypto to recycle and to comb the beaches, and they hold like art galleries and stuff. Um, yeah, Counting Coral is rebuilding the ocean reefs and whatnot. Um, so it's, I'm always looking for others as well in this space.
Well, it's interesting because my one of my other books out there, Behind the Window, features a scene in the far future in which the planet is slowly dying. So it's not implicitly implied what it is, but there is an element of climate change involved in it as well. So I find that with music, because I've never really seen someone use music to communicate strong themes such as climate change. But I mean, so it's quite interesting to hear it from a musical perspective, because I often think of things in a prose perspective rather than a music perspective. So how do you find the challenge of communicating very, very important themes using music?
Well, when it comes to making music and putting that song together and stuff, I just feel the moment. Like, for example, I got a song called Ashes, which is about the lungs of the world that burned back in 2018. And the lyrics are standing at the end of the world, walking through the fire and the flames, and it's just talking about that burning moment, that fire. But studying nature more and more, I've recently learned about pyrogenic flowering, which is flowers that, or trees or plants that they burn intentionally, and then those ashes and seeds bloom even more flowers and stuff like that. But in comparison to the lungs of the world, that is completely different. They're burning forestry and nature and ecosystems that belong to animals. All for corporate greed, just to build some buildings, make a tourist attraction. Like, it's like that. That type of stuff can be built different ways. Could be something more sustainable, or could be carbon neutral or carbon negative. If possible. But people let money run the world instead of them running the money.
Interesting.
I think, just to say one thing about these things, you need to get your message out there to as many people as possible, and through social media, I guess that's a platform, isn't it? There's many different platforms, but it's good. There was a song by Joni Mitchell called "Big Yellow Taxi" that was about that. Are you aware of that? Extinct? It's an old classic.
It's a beautiful song.
You need to start googling Joni Mitchell, "Big Yellow Taxi." Let's see if we can do an extinct version of that.
Oh my God! Incredible.
Jamiroquai's "When You Gonna Learn."
I'll think
that
about
it. Well,
Thank you, Richard.
So I think that's the point with Web3, is that Extinct has a whole platform, right? And that the work and the content that he has created is permanent, and he owns his own IP. And so as we meet people like you, we are meeting influential people like you, and we're asking people like you to join us in Web3, where we share our content that we own, that we control, and, ask you to share and come into our world, right? Into this new world of Web3, where we can find parity, right? There's less of a disparity between the movers and shakers, right? And between the artists and their art and their brands, right? So we're trying to create parity in Web3, where we own and control our images and our work, and where we can create parity between those who make music and distribute music, and how we can own our brand, but come together with people who want to share that same message. So
Gosh,
welcome to Web3. Welcome to Web3.
Thank you, Kafi. Kafi, thank you. What a perfect for "Come Together Right Now Over Me." I wish that we just had that edit in there. We need to pull some strings here. So the movers and the shakers, the big boys. Let's talk about that. I think that if everybody knew how to make huge change, I suppose that we'd be in a different reality. So
We
I
are in a
suppose
different reality.
I, sup-
We're in
I
Web
suppose
3.
I suppose I would like to I want to get my thought out. My thought is with regards to the powers that be, how people talk about, like, I think that everybody's road, we do converge, and things have gotten better, and even if they're not meeting every standard of better, it can't all happen at once, I suppose, unless everything's just gone from the earth and then it's just nature growing, uh, and all the living things that survive, if we're to end. But I think the convergence, so Web3 to me is basically this right here. We're in it. We're in Web3. We're talking about it. A lot of people that created the internet, they say Web3 is the internet. It's just a different name for the internet. And you have a lot of people that are like, well, upset about that. And then you have other people that don't quite know what the difference is, but are excited to kind of move forward with it. So I think just I always bring it back to the funky eye puppets, and I paint creatures, which is how I met BK Han, the co-founder of this Music Train show. Courageous dialogue, having the dialogue. That's it. And so I'm getting a wrap it up from my co-host here. Thank you, Kafi. Kafi's got me. She's like riding me, and I'm like, I'm coming in first. Thank you, Kafi. So we're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna
that
write a
was a
song.
silent wrap it up. You don't say it.
No,
You
no, I
just
do. It's my show. Can't I say what I want? I think that it's all.
It's sort of like move to the left. You don't say move
No,
to
no,
the
no.
left.
It's okay. It's okay. You've seen Ellen. You've seen Johnny Carson. You've seen all the people. They share what's really going on in the studio, and it's okay. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 4 of season 2 of the Music Train. I want to give a big heartwarming hug to all the guests today. Extinct, Richard Selwyn Barnett from the UK. We have Harrison Hickman from the UK, who he brought in today. Next week's guests include Timmy Clark. Whoa, it's going to be a Zoom, a pre-recorded Zoom, but I'm super excited. Thank you, Richard, for that. We have Anna Fahey joining as well, a music symposium of a human being. I can't wait to learn more about her. And also Ariel Ryder, who is one of the most amazing singers I've ever heard in my life. She's like a mix between Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston, no joke, with her own kind of funk. And I just am super excited that all of you joined us today. Kafi D'Ambrosi, thank you so much for being my co-host. And a big up also to everybody watching. And, just remember, it's all about you with the Music Train. It's not only about music, it's about what inspires you. And if you think that you have an idea for a theme for our show, definitely reach out to us. You can reach out to us through YouTube. You can reach out through us through the DMs. You can find me everywhere at Vessy Mink, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Let's add that banner real quick here for the YouTube. And happy Mother's Day to everybody. Thank you for all the nurturing souls out there willing to, go the distance for the little ones. Gosh, we all need nurturing, even in our adult years. Don't we find that fascinating? All right. So the last part of our show is, ready? A song. What's it going to be about? I'm going to turn my studio on here. I'm going to grab my guitar, and I need one word from everybody. And I'm going to write a song with that word from each of you. And then we're going to make a record with all of these songs. We're also going to turn them into NFTs that will land in your digital wallet if you had anything to do with writing them, which if you give me one word, then you know that you have. Kafi is going to put them in the comments because she loves me. And don't forget to catch Machine Minds tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. All AI, the conversation of AI and everything about it. Let's see here. Check. I'm just going to roll my studio here. So let's see. Richard, do you have one word for us?
Harmony.
I like that. Harmony. So we have harmony. And I see Ruler and Peace Machine Minds said fun. And you guys also, it's up to you to put in your word in the comments. You can write this song with us too. So I'm going to write
fun, harmony. What is hardistry? I don't know if hardistry is still there. My word is harmony, fun, and is sky.
Okay. Extinct. What's your word?
Diarrhea.
Oh no, come on. Really?
That has a lot to do with motherhood, so I can see the correlation.
I'm not doing that word.
Okay. A rigor mortis.
Let's use oscuridad.
He said a rigor mortis. Did I say it right? I'll do that one. Is that the one you want? Extinct for real?
Just do red bike.
All right, red bike.
I think we should do both rigor mortis and red bike.
All right. So we
Oh,
got
Cat GPT community says happy.
okay, so that's 6 words. All right, I don't have any idea what I'm going to do here, but I think it's going to be punkish. I think that's it, right? Check. Hey.
All right. We're going down below.
Everybody, welcome to the Music Train. This is Vessy Mink. Thank you so much for joining us for Season 2, Episode 4 of the Music Train, where music meets minds all over the world. Thank you so much to our special guests tonight, Extinct, Richard Selwyn Barnett, and Harrison Hickman. And a big up to my co-host, Kafi D'Ambrosi, and co-founder BK Han of Metaverse Generation. Thank you to all of the listeners. And I'm going to do this song with these 6 words. Oh, yes.
Metaverse Generation says action.
Oh, okay, action. Here we go.
Actions.
All right. I think that's going to start it off. So I'm so glad that they did that. And you guys, for support.
In Harrison Hickman's word is
Hickman. Harrison Hickman.
Hickman. Thank you.
Oh, goodness. All right, guys. Sorry, Harrison. I thought that we got your word. We must move on. All right. I'm going to do it again.
In Hardistry's word is generosity.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Everyone is participating today.
I'm glad. I'm so
Thank you
glad.
so much, everyone. It's fantastic.
You know what? Kafi, if they drop their digital wallet, public digital wallet address in the comments, I'm going to give them an NFT. I'm going to drop an NFT, a Vessy Mink NFT in their wallet. So thank you, everyone, for listening. If you drop your public wallet address or you want to learn how to do that, get in touch with Kafi or myself, and we'll help you set your wallet up. It's really easy, and you should know how to do it because I think we're going digital, like no more paper money. So here we go now. And thank you again to our sponsor, the Bad Boys of Boston. And here we go, guys. All right. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. No, we can't do that. All right. George, Michael just dropped into my head. All right, here we go. I think I'd like to have some fun under the sun. Sky blue, all about you. Harmony, my friend. Rigor mortis, don't touch me now. Red bikes flying through the clouds. Skies on. Skies on. Skies on. The music train. We're gonna go insane. Actions speak louder than words. Baby, actions speak louder than words. Make me fate brings us together again. And the blue sky says, generosity, I'm your friend. Generosity, till the end. Generosity, now let's make amends. Blue skies, clear nights, riptide shaking up, blue minds, sad times. Take me out of the equation of depression. 'Cause I know there's a place for all of us. I know there's a place for all of us. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.